Hi folks, how you doing? This is Mara going live today from the church that's always open. But today I have a new view. I'm on the road in New Hampshire in the live free or die state. And I'm happy to just be here sending a message out on a happy Sunday. Hope you guys are doing okay. And my theme today is a new view. Because after some of the things we saw this week, I think everybody can agree some of us might need a new perspective. And new perspective is actually a really cool thing. Sometimes things come up and we see them because we need a new perspective. We need a new view. A lot of my kids asked this week about the debate. Normally I've decided not to be so political, but this week I kind of have to talk about the debate because a lot of my kids were like, Miss Lynch, what was that? And what I've been sharing with them is that all news, all media, basically everything should be treated as entertainment. I'm just telling them, treat it as entertainment and then go into your mastermind. Take a deep breath and decide if it supports your value system. And I've just been telling them about doing that. And I think that's great advice for any of us. I know it's great advice for me if I'm having a perspective that is not yielding feeling good, not yielding peace, not yielding prosperity, not yielding, coming back together, not yielding something that, feels like good, then I too need a new view. And so new views are actually an awesome opportunity for us. As I've been saying since COVID, this is some of the best opportunities for us, as hard as it is. Like, we have to admit, this is a challenging thing, and it is. However, what an opportunity there is in this new paradigm of maybe no news is true until we decide what is true for us. Maybe we don't accept anything as real unless it works for us. Having seen The Social Dilemma, having seen that kind of wild debate where, honestly, I saw two people that I didn't see fit for leadership either way. And, maybe retooling the whole system. Maybe there needs to be 5 parties and the government each just donates to each candidate evenly, and that's it. Off we go. Maybe that little dollar in the election box. But anyway, new perspectives, right? A new view. That can yield us new talents in ourselves. That can yield us new opportunities. That can yield us a release from something that maybe wasn't working for us. These are parts of this paradigm, while so very challenging, can really yield us something better. I've remembered this quote, this or something better. And that's really possible when we use our mastermind to believe it. Let's go back to mastermind for a second, because as a music teacher, I'm able to use mastermind constantly. As just a human being watching some of the debacle out here, I'm really happy to tell the kids, it's just entertainment. Don't believe any of it until you run it through your own filter. Ask your parents, ask people you trust, but the rest is just entertainment. And I'm hoping that this will help them, because some of them, let's get real, you guys. For some of them to watch adults behave the way they did on the debate is actually frightening. Like, they're like down deep. I mean, they're kids, they're young. It's in their DNA to look up to the adults, So it was challenging, and they really trust me to tell them the truth. And I will. Not the truth, my version, right? There isn't the truth. There's what I call it. And I think that's where we're all maybe going a little astray. I haven't met one person who has shared the same COVID experience as another. Not one. I mean, the only thing we have in common with COVID is that everybody's gone through it differently. So maybe the only thing of super value is for us to sit down and say, how's it going for you? What's this like for you? Somebody on the front lines in the medical world, oh my gosh, think of the nightmare that they have experienced for months on end. Their reality is the nightmare. And that's their reality. And they deserve compassion for their reality. For me, some of the hardness has been watching some of my music friends suffer so desperately. But yay phase 3.5 is going to open, and my friends at the Regent Theater can open, and my friends who are playing live music, most of them can open. My tiny theater's been open one-on-one for a while, but I too can open if you want a smaller facility. I have it, and that too can open. So yay, hooray for some of the musicians who are going to be able to be back open. But let's remember, that reality does not alter the fact that some people are going through still a very, very frightening time with COVID. So in human compassion, which this is the opportunity for us to really grow in our human compassion by stopping and saying, what's this been like for you? And how extraordinary that it's different for all of us. How extraordinary. But there are some things I think we can agree on. Number one, some of this leadership world and platform has not represented really many of any of us. What I saw at the debate did not represent social discourse. I was hoping they'd rate the debate X. So nobody under 18 actually could see it. But unfortunately, if this level of loss of social discourse has happened and is occurring, it needs to come up to be healed. Because human evolution, we cannot get our mastermind if the main thoughts we're entertaining are anger and aggression. All of us suffer for that. All of us go through that. But it's important that we know if we're indulging in rage or anger. I'm not saying letting our feelings be felt if we're hurt, but letting our feelings be felt and then choosing to indulge in more rage or vengeance or that type of stuff. I'm not saying it's easy to stop those channels. I mean, we are human after all. But it is an opportunity to choose something different. So when I'm doing mastermind with my kids, I'm like, well, did you like what you saw? No, I don't like that people were yelling at each other. Great. Then you have a chance to create a world in which that doesn't occur. And the first place to start it is in your family and with your friends. But most importantly, don't believe any of it until you decide that it works for you. So I'm actually quite happy to be teaching this. I'm happy to be teaching it through music. I love that we get to share on Sundays these ideas back and forth. I'm really grateful to share these ideas and have this kind of place to chat with each other throughout the week. Very, very happy and grateful throughout the week that we have each other to share with this. So just to kind of wrap it up, because I'm outside here in the woods, no tree tripod. But so here's the thing. A new view. If there's anything cooking in your life right now, I think we have a great opportunity to really start to address it and maybe say, do I really want this? And shift it. Do I want this? Is this my highest and best? Is this what my mastermind is saying that I could have that would bring peace and comfort and compassion with love? That doesn't mean with denial. It means with love. And sometimes when we're pleading for others, that doesn't mean that we're saying, oh, and screw somebody else. It doesn't mean that. It just means we're considering the concerns of a certain group at that time. And why we have to consider those concerns is because all of us who are going through this together are experiencing separate realities about it. So instead of us telling each other how to think, how to feel, how to be, what to do, let's just go into our own mastermind and say responsibly, this is my reality for me. And then share it with others. As we share it, listening to their reality, we might find some tremendous commonality together. We might find some ways to create something that is so much newer and so much better than what we had because we decided to share and listen. Most importantly, we have to remember, not one of us has the full answer. We just don't, because all of us are going through this in a very different way. And all of us need to experience a new view. That's part of why I took the church that's always open on the road. Now, churches are open, but the church that's always open for us, guys, really, it's our heart. It's our masterminds connected to it. It's the inspirations, inspirare, that gives us new ideas of how to love, how to forgive, how to keep going in a way that feels peaceful, that feels positive, that feels like a new light from an old paradigm that needed to shift. And we do have that power. We do have that power. Grassroots, my friends, is a very, very powerful force. And we can do it every single day in little ways. Kindness to the gal at the Dunks counter. Kindness to a person who's having a struggling day. Just that little bit of kindness. All of us, everybody's bandwidth is definitely more limited. I am included. But can we do those little acts of random kindness? We can. And sometimes in a darker time, in a harder time like this, we forget how much it matters. But remember this, a light is so bright in a darker time. So that act of kindness, that can do tremendous good. And it might be the only kind thing that happens to a person in that day, but what a difference. So let us take this week, let's try to challenge our old views that if they don't bring us peace, if they don't bring us comfort, if they don't bring us something forward to go to, if they don't leave something better here for the kids, then we need a new view. We need a new view. And let's go get it. Let's get the spoils of this time. Let's get the gifts of the grace, because any of us growing and changing, walking through this and keeping the light on, that's a tremendous grace. And that, my friends, we really, 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 really want to share with the kids, because they deserve it. The other thing about the kids, they are closer intact to that really good feeling. They just are. They haven't been as inundated with the earth plane. They are far more connected into their mastermind's imagination. And they trust a good feeling. It's sort of like when you go into a petting zoo. If someone has great energy, the animals are going to come and visit, and they can feel that. Our good feeling stretches out 8 feet around us in a full circle. Well, that's pretty cool. So if you take that into a rough situation, knowing that you are a light, you're basically a living, walking torch, radiating goodness, that's really cool to know that. But if we're having a dark day, if we're having a hard day, if we're having a day where we want to go, and all of us have been having them, and it's okay. But it's important to know if we are having a day like that, and just give ourselves a little extra self-care. Give ourselves that little extra few moments before we make that phone call or send that email out, because I think ultimately all of us have circumstances that we wouldn't have minded redoing if we could go back and take that 10-second count. So this is a time to do it. Nothing is normal. Nothing's regular. And out of that, let's create something new. Let's have this or something so much better. I know that we have this. We've got this going on. And just keep telling the kids, if you don't mind, that all the news is just entertainment until they decide for themselves. Because if they know that they have the power to decide for themselves, they will not be as afraid. If they are not afraid, but only creatively concerned, then their mastermind will work very powerfully. And I believe that the kids' mastermind has a great deal of information for us. I'm on the front line of experiencing their masterminds every week. Yes, they are a little more advanced than we are. And it's kind of cool to be in partnership with them in that way. But thanks so much for hanging in. Thanks for watching my little videos as they come out. I greatly appreciate your company. I greatly appreciate the conversations we get to have here. I just really appreciate you, being out there trying to make this world a better place, because we will. The light, my friends, the light will always win. It's just sometimes a little hectic while we're carrying the torches that we are through it. But you are the light, and we are bringing it. So have yourselves a great Sunday, and good luck with our new view. Take care, guys. Have a great week.